Hello and welcome to another GT Sport video. Today we're not doing the daily races. We are going to do some online racing though, but we're going karting. I have no practice in this whatsoever, so let me just say the performances won't be that exceptional. If you saw at the beginning, I already applied the correct sticker on the back of my outfit, indicating to the players behind me that I will be going quite slow. So here we started the race, and fortunately I'm still with the first group. We didn't go out yet. Apparently we braked a little too early and a little too late for that second corner. But we're not really last yet, and we can still hold on to the kind of front of the pack. If you look closely at the radar, the players around me are really close. We try to take the ideal line here, and some players don't really. So we managed to take P8 for now. Oh. Everybody goes left and right a bit. One player went out completely. We're still alive. Still in P8. Going through the 4 apex corner for the first time, and here we go, and then we get kicked off. Let me show you again, but maybe a little bit slower, then you can really see what's going on. So we approach to the corner. Pay special attention to the Spanish driver here, passing us. He goes to the left, but then he goes all the way to the right in reaction to the other Spanish player, and just slides it off. I don't really believe it was intentional. Oh, there he passes once more. I don't really believe it was intentional, as he went off completely there as well. But this results in us taking P7. And still at this point, I'm quite happy that I'm not all the way dead last. Another yellow flag, which means here's another player that went off, so we take P6. And that's only the first lap of this 4-lap race. But for the moment nothing really happening here in the second lap. We continue, and we're slowly getting on the player which is in P5, and here we might get an opportunity to overtake him. We go to the inside, but he blocks us off, and then we screw up and go off into the side ourselves. Another player overtakes us again, and we are in P7. And that's more or less the rest of the race. Some other players drop out, so we end up in P6, but we started with 12 drivers and we only finished with 7. Still, we're not lost. So, second race. The second race wasn't going to be driven on Dragon Trail, but rather in Kyoto Driving Park. As you can see, still the slow mark for the players who don't really expect us to drive that well. Or do expect us to drive that well. But anyway, let's get started. Our start isn't that bad. We immediately gain 1 position, 2 positions. We're already up from 9th to 7th. First in the corner. I decide to stay on the outside a little bit, but some players creep through the inside, so it turns out that wasn't really a good idea. Everybody's still closely packed with each other. I try to give the other players a chance to get to the inside, just so I don't get knocked out. Here we get to the highest point of the circuit for the first time, and here everything goes down. This corner still everybody's totally flat out and creeps up on the inside. Then a bit of chit-chat happens and a couple of players go off, which launches us immediately into P8. Here I decide to take the ideal line regardless of other players. We're in P7 now because another player went off. Our exit in this corner is quite well, so we managed to catch up on the group in front. And here we go all the way to P3 for just a second. But then this Dutch player goes into the inside. Another player went to the inside, but for some reason he spun around. Here we're going to take the inside line. And this player opts out for some reason. And there we made an evasive maneuver on the British driver, and that cost us a position, unfortunately. And here another position, but we immediately take it back. Not really very cleanly, but now there's another player on the left next to me, and here I made a mistake not braking for this corner. I overestimated the abilities of the kart, and we're into the grass. And we lose another couple of positions, so we're in P9 right now, which is basically where we started. So coming out of this corner, I guess it's Valentino Rossi, which is in front of me now. He's taking the lead. So I decided not to overtake him, but just bumped him a little bit, not realizing that my maximum speed was already reached. Coming out of the first corner, we're just a bit faster. I'm trying to stay clear of the Spanish driver in blue, because we know from the last race that he tends to knock people out. For the second time we're on top of the circuit. We're going down together with Valentino Rossi, some driver in a white outfit, a Schumacher clone, and the Spanish knockout king. All the way in P10. Well, the driver in white passed us all in that corner, might be cousin of the Stig. But coming out of this hairpin, we take the lead of the group that we're in, and we take P5. Still, this South African Schumacher clone is on right on our tail. We need to really defend in this corner. He passes us just for a minute. In this corner we go to the inside again, we pass him, but he takes the cut back and overtakes us. It's pretty hard maintaining the front with one of these karts if you don't have any slipstream to hold on to, because the maximum speed of these is really affected by what's in front of you, and all these circuits that we're driving are most of the time flat out. So here I do brake a little bit. I bash into the Schumacher clone, but we hold our position and we go to the inside here again to defend, but apparently I underestimated the abilities of the kart. So the Stick clone and the Schumacher clone overtake me. Meanwhile, I should say that the two other players have dropped off, because they're more than 3 seconds behind us. So we go into the third lap in a battle for fifth. Coming out of the first corner, we overtake them right in between. but still no slipstream, and they can just tuck in our slipstream easily, so there's no real way of losing them. Meanwhile, I noticed that we have risen to P4, so it's a fight for P4 right now, as another player probably dropped out. The cousin of the stake just tried to knock me wide, or I should say forced himself on the inside. But at this corner I guess he decided to just stop racing and spin around. There's a yellow flag here, which means another player dropped out or went wide, which we overtook there. So now it's actually a battle for P3. But the South African player is a bit too far away from me, and it's already the final lap. So nothing really happens from there, and he's too far away to overtake, so P4 is what it's gonna be for this race. So P9 to P4 wasn't too bad, but just to end things, let's just do one more race. We're with 12 players again, and again we're starting in P9. This time we are racing at the Interlagos circuit in Brazil, which I should say is one of my favorite circuits. But as you will see at the start of the race, I'm not really that skilled in the kart yet. Because, well, we're starting now, but my conscience is thinking, P9, that's a little bit much to the front. So we go off in the first corner and decide to give the other players a bit of a chance and start all the way in the back. So we're on the track again, and we already overtook one player who went off in the corner after that. So he probably had the same idea. And here in this corner, we decided to overestimate the abilities of our kart and overshoot the corner again. And this results in us receiving a penalty of 1.5 seconds. Fortunately for us, these online races are set up without a specific penalty paying zone. So the penalty will slowly deteriorate over time. Going into 2 hairpins, the Spanish driver overtakes us and we're dead last again. One player goes off on the side here and we overtake. So we overtake him and we are in P11. Not much is really happening here, so let's just fast forward a little bit. Second time taking the corner is much better. We don't go off at least. So now we're really approaching a couple of drivers in front. Maybe we can make up some positions here. It appears that one player dropped out, so we're in P9. The 2 players that we just overtook are also some positions, so now we're in P8. Let's skip to lap 3. Here we are approaching 2 players, and as we exit the last wheel corner of the track, we get the opportunity to overtake them. Question is whether we can hold on to the position, because as you can see in front, there's no slipstream to get into. Entering the last lap, the Italian driver overtakes us, Spanish driver as well actually, but I take the first corner quite well, or at least better than the previous laps. And again, I overtake the Spanish player, but he's still next to us. I bump into the Italian driver. because I know if I overtake him I'm not really going to hold on to that position. Here I almost spin out. And I just decide to bide my time for the moment. Because actually what I need to do is overtake him in the last corner, and then maybe I can stay ahead for the finish line. I'm going to the inside here. I go in front, which was initially not really my plan, but exiting this corner I sort of lose them and they battle amongst each other, so I managed to hold on to position 6. So here I end the race in P6. I should say that these karting races are really fun to drive. I am hugely incompetent in driving these things, but they do result in fun races, and maybe I'll do more in the future. For now, this is all I have for you today, and hopefully see you in the next video.